We are live now. Let's figure this thing out. Not Facebook Live. What's up? How's everybody?
Hey.
Welcome to December. Very excited. Bunch of things we're gonna go over this morning. Start with some very. I am like, it's funny. It's been a long couple days. Our children are learning to sleep again, and they were doing better, and then they got kind of sick, which sucked. And so now so last night was all sorts of fun. So, we have a little bit of recognition. So I like that. Check this out. What? I got my 6.
Yeah.
And if you get your 6, we got your 6, right? So we got your back on this. So check that out, right? Woo! So we have 2 folks, right? A bunch of folks that are getting close. For Mr. Bob and Don, congratulations! So very fun. Oh my God, I want that share. What's that?
He said, "Oh my God, I want that shirt."
Oh, here, I've got.
That's what it took for Camacho.
Right?
Shirt.
Very good. So, right, cut the sleeves off. We've got it coordinated, stuff like that. So excited about that. Not only that, but they got a check, so we like checks too. So, Bob and Don, this is good. I'm not sure why Oscar wrote Rob, but we'll right there. I was like, well, do we wait till the 14th? I'm like, no, man, we do it now. We got things. So really excited. So remember our last Oz night of the year is not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. So we've got training this week, Saturday practice next week. A lot of things to do. Couple things just to kind of get things started. Put on your calendar June 14th through the 18th. In 2017, the convention is in June this year. We are going. I just booked our room. Sue just booked her room, right? Adrian's booking, right? So we've got that. They haven't released it to non-RVPs yet. And so we'll get that information. Right now we're staying at the Westin, and so once there's a release, right, the moment they release it to non-RVPs, like we're going to send out a Slack, we're going to send out a text, it's $75 to register for the convention, and then there's like different events and different things that we'll end up doing. I don't care economically if things are tight, get your $75, even if it's for only one partner, you're both going. Right? You book it if finances are a little tight through the holidays. The moment we send out a release, I'm asking y'all, get on one, register the $75, go on and book the hotel, right? Because you don't have to pay the hotel, right? You just have to book the hotel, right? And then we can kind of coordinate and figure out, right? So we're going, it's funny, I told Rob, she's like, what's the meeting? I said, I'm going Primerica this morning. We are going to talk about winning. We're going to talk about growing. We're going to talk about where things are. I haven't slept in 3 days, and I'm on my second cup of coffee, and I haven't conditioned that coffee. Today, you're going to have to listen fast, right? Everyone's like, you talk quickly. I have no idea what's coming right now. So I am excited, though. So, and just kind of a little bit of information on this, right, to where it comes from, right? So let's say, Bob and Don, you both register a room, okay? Right? Cindy and Arson, you both register for a room. Tony, you and Wendy, you both register for a room. And the reason is we can let one of the rooms go, but then we've got them. Okay? So here's how it's going to look. David, you're going to have somewhere between 3 and 30 people at this convention. Hopefully closer to 30 than 3. Woo! You're going to walk into your room, and there's going to be 8 bags with you of different folks that are there. You're not going to tell them that when you register, right? But there's a really good chance, right, that multiple people will be staying with right? So you want to put the rooms are $250 a night, right? Which is a lot of money for 4 nights, right? It's $1,000. But if you've got 5 or 6 people in your room, then it's not $1,000, right? It allows us to scoop up folks and get them in there. Do me a favor. Do not look around the room and figure out who in this room you're sharing with. This is incredibly important. It's incredibly important that you do not look around this room and be like, hey, can be like, no. You know why? Because you need folks in your room who aren't in this room yet. Right? We got 6 months to grow. Look, do I think we're going to have 1,000 people at the convention? That's not the goal, right? That's not the game plan. That's not where we are. We're going to talk about where we are and what's going on. But it starts with the vision and understanding of what's happening. Worst case scenario, you're going to release a room. If you got 2 rooms and you don't need 2 rooms, you're going to release a room. Or we're going to recruit someone who needs a room and we're going to switch identify, and it just goes in. It allows us to put that together, right? We want to stay as close in the same place as we can, right? The opportunity, it's more fun. There's dinners and there's drinks and there's hanging out and there's all sorts of stuff. There's lots of Long Islands at 2 o'clock in the morning if we're in the same area, right? It just kind of goes. And this is going to be, right? If you look at where we are, this is perfect. And the reason is that they do a convention. Primerica does a convention every 2 years, right? So we're December 1, 2016. We've got June 2017, June 2019, right? So this is kind of where this window is. If that happens. And so what happens is this gives us this window to introduce ourselves to the company. And then it's a really nice picture that says, okay, what can we get accomplished in 24 months? And so what happens is, the reality is there's a really good chance we don't promote a single RVP between now and June. But there's a really good opportunity that we could promote a significant amount of RVPs in this window. So they start counting here. And so kind of the cool thing is it allows us to say, we get a head start to get everything ready and then pop, 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 pop through this. It allows everybody in this room to say, okay, where do I want to be so that I start in June of 2017 so my convention run starts. Does this make sense? Our business is the moving of people. It's the telling of a story, right? The ability to recruit and grow. Whether it's to make an extra $500 or $1,000 a month, it's the ability to go full time. It's the ability to build. Our business is there's a place for everyone and a role for all of us. But we need to be, we are professional marketers, right? That's our business. Our business is storytelling and getting people to see what's possible for them. Well, what's going to be possible for them is by them seeing what's possible for us. The way David Camacho felt when he saw Bob and Don's I Got My Six, when I want that shirt. Now, he was committed to get a securities license before, I promise you. I guarantee you, when he sees you wearing that shirt, it's going to drive him to want to do it more. It's silly, it's ridiculous, and it's true. So we could spend the next 2 years fighting what's silly and ridiculous. Ah, silly and ridiculous. Or we could go, crap. Crap's true. Right? I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. If you watch the conventions, these are sophisticated people going batshit crazy. Like, people just are nuts. It's fun. It's enthusiastic. Right? I went on this Facebook Live crap. It drives me crazy, right? I don't understand all of it. But there's a guy that I've known for a long time that I tried recruiting, and we had him. He turned in his IBA really, really good, and things happened, and he didn't do it. And then he moved, and then he's at an ACN conference right now, and he's like, Facebook Living ACN. Like, these are folks that sell electricity. Like, which was really cool 15 years ago because there wasn't, like, the technology platforms that there is now. I have no idea how they make any money. Like, none, based on where things are. But they're, like, fired up. And I went, right, they're all in a suit. They're all, and I'm like, people want to be a part of something. And so we have this opportunity to be able to say, okay, right? So one, you want to be here because it's a lot easier to start when you start. So it'll cost you $1,000. per person. You just got to know $1,000, maybe $1,200. It won't be more than $1,200. It won't be less than $1,000. By the time we do flights, by the time we get hotels, by the time we do, it's going to be $1,000. Your business starts $1,000. We got 6 months for everyone in this room to make sure that $1,000 is not an issue. Right? And so we sit there and we walk through and go, okay, Tig, right? I don't want $1,000 coming out of your parents' account. That means we got 6 months to make sure you earn at least $1,000 for your business. I don't want $1,000 coming out of your capital reserves. Which means we got 6 months to make sure that we earn $1,000. Right? I don't want $2,000 coming out of the sale of the house. That means we got at least 6 months. We got 6 months to earn at least the $2,000. Everybody in this room earns their way and pays their way. That's not a bad thing. This says, okay, you're getting licensed, right? What are we doing? The first thing we're doing, first $75 goes to registration. The next goes to, and we start understanding what it is to be a business owner. It's a really important thing to know one of the biggest differences in our Primerica is the difference between cash flow and revenue. See, this is a $100,000 ring. Primerica's got it all wrong. For 18 years, I was confused. We celebrate cash flow. You've earned $100,000, so we're going to give you a ring. No, your business has earned $100,000 and you're in business. This is the revenue in order to run your business. It's not as fun to market, but it's a reality of what our business is. Right? We're raising and developing entrepreneurs, which means part of what we're going to do is we're going to understand how we grow our business. You absolutely want to be here because I promise you, with everything we've got in place, we're not figuring it out. We're not developing structures and systems. Like, we are running, and we got 6 months to lay out what's going on. That make sense? And so, one, I'm asking you, and if you don't know if you're going to want to go, talk to me over the next couple days, and let's settle it prior to when they release it to everybody. Because what I'm asking for you is if Billy here says, I'm not going, I'd rather be able to have the conversations with Billy. And if Billy tells me he's not going to go, I'd like to him and I to be on the same page that he's not going, so that I don't have to make Billy feel bad or try to make Billy bad or have Billy feel bad because he hasn't been honest with me with what's going on in the conversations, because that's not the goal. If Billy's like, I don't want to go, if Tate's like, dude, I am not going to this thing. Mom, I don't want to spend the money. I don't want to spend the time. I don't want to do this. Like, it's not where I want to go. It's not my goals. It's not my ambitions. It's not what I'm going to learn. It's not, and we talk about it and we settle, then great. Then Tate wouldn't have to feel bad. Now, if Tate wants to learn how to be an entrepreneur, be able to surround himself, be able to be experienced, be able to know what's going on and stuff like that, learn how to have relationships and meet the people he's going to need to, and learn how to develop strategic partnerships necessary, I think it's a good investment. But that would be my conversation. As a leader, I would say, here's the pros, here's the cons, make the decision so that we're clear before. Because this isn't about making people feel bad. This is about arming people with the tools necessary to move forward. Does that make sense? So my request is, if anyone in the room is like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go, let's have the conversation in advance, like today or tomorrow, so that I can just settle the fact that, of course, you can go. And then, like, the only person I know who might not be there is Lisa Santillo, because she's going to be having a baby, right? David's ass is going unless he's due. Like, I think the baby's going to be there June 1st. Guess where David's going to be? He's going to hug his baby and be gone for 4 days if the baby's there June 1st. Right? If she's still pregnant on that, then we'll talk. Now, I'm joking and I'm not. Like, he's an adult. He can make his own decisions. But, right, if we're talking about a start date, these are, like, it's not tough cycle. I was there after. It was, this is our beginning. So, does that make sense? Any questions or anything? Okay, good. I'm so fired up. I haven't been excited about a company like one of this. I've been excited like this, and I'm like, oh, because I know what we're laying on top of this stuff. Right? I know that we've got things moving. There's some choices and decisions that we've made to shift. It's time we get back to growth. Make sense? And so that's announcement and kind of information number one. So what are some of the things that we're doing to get prepared? What are we doing in this period of time here to make sure that we're prepared for that start date. So there are some Primerica things, right? We recruit and develop new associates, we get people licensed, we go through, but I got a question. How many of you realize it's December and November came and went, and some of the things that we said was going to get happen didn't get happen, and we're like, yeah, but we'll do it in December. Anybody? Anybody say, God, I really wanted that, but you know, that's all right. We'll get it done in December. Am I the only one that's had a goal or had something we wanted to do, and it was important when we were thinking about it, and then we just kind of moved it to the next month. And we're like, yeah, it's no big deal. And now we're in December, so we're like, we got to be really aggressive because we're like, yeah, now we're gonna do it. And guess what? If it doesn't happen in December, we're like, oh, first week of January is a little tight. Like first couple days, we're like, oh God, man, I can't believe it's already January, man. We said this was gonna happen in December. It didn't happen in December. That's all right. We'll do it in January. Anyone experience what I'm talking about? Okay. Can we agree that if we want to build something that's explosive and growing, that thinking might be costing us more than it's giving us? That the pushing it down the road concept might not serve us forever. Because there are things that we actually want to have accomplished in order to start when we're going to start. And if we have the habit of pushing, then we're going to just kind of probably keep pushing. And then we kind of lose this. Now, we spent 2016 doing a lot of pushing. And so we've instilled a couple of habits. I think we're pushing less now, but we're still kind of pushing. And so Robert and I were chit-chatting and kind of going through, and I was talking with Adrian, I was talking with Sue, and go, man, what can we do, and there's things, and this, and I'm like, well, we can run contests. But contests are good, but if you don't think you're going to win, then they don't matter. If you think you're going to win, then they don't matter. And if you don't have to do much to win, then it doesn't matter. And so that kind of goes. And if everyone kind of pushes, then it's not like pushes till the next month, and then there's not really a consequence to any of that stuff. So, like, okay, we like contests. There's things we want to do, but we have to actually stop. We have to have legitimate stop dates and push to those stop dates in order to get that. So we'll save that. And so we talked about what we do, where things are, what's going on, blah blah blah. And Robert looked at me and she's like, so how'd you do it before? And a heap of emotions came all over me. And I'm like, I don't know, I want to say this out loud. She's like, well, let's talk about it, right? And then chit-chatting about some things, and I'm like, well, there's something inside me that hates to lose. I actually hate losing more than I like winning, which is a weird kind of concept. And like, you know, and we'd show up and play, and we're kind of going through some things, and so we are going to roll something out. I'm still dialing in the details, but the reality is that we are not big enough and we are not strong enough as a group right now to get each other to move. I don't like that, and that's true. That's a fact. So we have a couple choices. We could spend the next 6 months trying to get ourselves strong enough to get ourselves to move. Or we could put ourselves in a position where we don't have to be that strong, we can just move. And so we started talking about, well, if we were going to make that choice, what would we do? And there is not a single office in the country that I would want to plug us into. There's not a single office or organization in the country that I would want to show up to all the time and say, can you help us create a culture? There's not one single organization in the country that I would want to do that with. Which is a hard thing because, like, well, if we're not strong enough, UB, then we got to enlist outside help, but there's not a single place that we would like to enlist outside help on. That seems like we're in conflict. And so I've got some creative people in my life. And the idea was like, well, what if we didn't have to? What if we could get both? Like, well, how could we do that? And the topic of conversation was, well, what if we just plugged into a different office, but then we plugged into a different office, and a different office, and a different office? I'm like, well, this is an interesting conversation. And so over the next 6 months, what we are going to plan on doing is the second Saturday of the month, we are going to be a traveling team. Road trip, travel ball. We're going to show up, and then we're going to go to one of 6 different offices. And we're going to show up for their Saturday meeting. We're going to have some shirts designed. We're going to spend the next couple weeks kind of figuring that out. We'll wear our uniforms, and we'll sit in the back. And we are not showing up to talk. We're showing up for a variety of reasons. One, we're showing up because I want your asses to realize how damn good we are, and y'all have no idea. And you're going to sit through a handful of meetings and be like, they're doing that? What the blank? Because I can't get you to think what the blank. And so I'm like, hey, look, I know what's going to happen on some of this stuff. 2, truth. We are not showing up for you to figure out what to do, because your ass already knows what to do. We're showing up for you to go, what do I got to do to get me to do what I'm supposed to do? Because I know what to do, and I know we can do it, and I cannot believe. And here's what is going to happen. You and I are going to walk out of these rooms, and you're going to go, what the what? And at some point, you're going to get sick and tired of walking out of a room that has nothing on you and what we're building. And there's going to be a part of you that says, oh, I'm going to be different between now and the next. Does this make sense? The other thing that happens is that if you look around, there's people that are supposed to be here that aren't here. Now here's the reality. Our Saturdays have been good, but they were training and this and that, and they're inconsistent and trying to figure out what's going on and all this other stuff. And as valuable as they are, it's like, yeah, I should go and I should get them there, but they're busy. Y'all with me? True. Not necessarily good, but true. And this business is about the moving of people. Now, here's what's happened. When you've invited some of the people to your Saturdays and you weren't sure what Saturday was going to be like, you're like, God, I hope it's a good Saturday. And so when you're talking to them, your conviction and commitment level is hoping it's a good Saturday. Just straight, right? And that's not good, but it's true, and I appreciate your honesty. We've all done it. If not, you don't have anybody. But if you have people, this is occurring. But that's going to hurt us if we're trying to create this momentum. Guess what's going to flip? So let's say it's January 10th. I don't know what this is. Let's say it's January 10th, and we're going to go to Alex Ruzitz's office in Northridge. The first one is my goal is for us to go to. You want to walk in by yourself? No. So guess what all of a sudden starts happening? All of a sudden, Tony's like, I don't want to walk into someone else's office by myself. Okay, wait, you got to get the day off. Isaac, you got to be there, right? And now all of a sudden, we're like, Mark, man, you got to come. And now we start becoming professional recruiters to our events, which is a skill that we have to get back to if we want to create the momentum that we're talking about creating. Because this is about the moving of people. And so it flips from, is this going to be a good training? Should I try to get them there to, hell no. Anthony, your ass is coming on Saturday. Because, do you want to walk in by yourself? Do we want the 7 of us to walk into a room? Do you really want? There's 2, 4, There's 11 of us. Do we really want to walk into another RVP's office with 11 people? You want? I don't want to walk in like that. You want to walk in with you and Arson? Just you and Arson? How long you been in the business? So for just you and Arson? You want that? No. You want that? Hey, how long I've been here? 2 years. Hey, that's me. Yeah, I couldn't get my team there. Is that what you want? See, are you starting to feel something that you haven't felt about a training in a really long time? Yeah, but you starting to feel, remember those feelings of, oh, hell no. See, we've got to get back to the moving of people. You all excited?
Well, it started, like, David was about here till, like, I was like, David, are you hearing what we're saying? And about 2 seconds ago, he finally, like, sat up.
So there's, right, because this will do a lot of the work for us. Guess what's going to happen? Like, guys, we're really good communicators, and the business model we built is really, really good. You understand, the people you're going to recruit, you're never going to have to say anything to them. They're going to walk in and they're going to see really smart, focused, strong work ethic, positive people that don't have the game we've got. And they're going to be standing in the room, and the meeting they're going to be running. Your folks are going to be like, is this what we do? And your answer is going to be, man, look how many excited people there. Hey, we don't got to run their game. Are we going to get some good ideas? Of course we're going to get good ideas. Are these smart, compassionate, focused people that are taking care of building a business for their life? Of course they are. But I guarantee you, if we do this right, we're going to walk out of these rooms going, hell no. Does this make sense? And we're going to go in smart, focused, successful organizations, right? We're going to walk into folks. The minimum income is going to be $350,000, $400,000, right? So the people you're getting in front of, right? They're going to talk about being able to go. Now, here's what we'll do. We've set a list up to the first group, and then we'll see. The $1 million earners are on this end. The Arizons, the Gerfines, the Chamorros, the Macadams, they're the second half of the year. Now, we get to decide if we have to go there. To be honest with you, I prefer not go there. My own ego says I prefer us not go there. So I built the list for the year, and I front-loaded it with the folks that I'm like, okay, they'll be positive and supportive and shit like that. And then this group, my ego is going to get his ass kicked. And so I front-loaded it with people that are like, I'm like, okay, we took the last 6 years and they've made more money than us, but they haven't taken advantage of the last 6 years. The second group's taking advantage of the 6 years.
Well, let's be clear. The first half is designed to have all of your egos asses kicked.
Yes.
Just because you're saying that does not mean.
Yeah. This is for us to go, we should be playing in this.
Because all of you should be playing at the level of every office we walk into in the first half of the year. So this isn't like, oh, this is the easy part. We're going to wait and see.
No.
Because that's what that was possible.
Oh, I appreciate the clarity on that. No, look, if we explode and we do things we need to do, we get to be our own culture because there's no office we can walk into that can give what we're going to give to our people. There just isn't, except the feeling of, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And I don't care how cool you are, everybody in this room is affected by something, even if you don't want to accept or admit that you're affected by something. There's no one better in the country than us to move the people we're going to grow, but we're not able to move them yet because we're not able to move us consistently. Make sense? And so my goal is, we walk out of this convention and we've got 50, 60, 30, 50, 100, I don't know how many people we've got, but when it's time, hey, should we go on our second half road trips? We're like, why? Our folks feel the way we felt when we walked out of Bruce's office, when we walked out of Lugo's office, when we walked out of Tomorrow's office, when we walked out of those offices. Our people feel that way when we run this Saturday. We don't need, okay, great. Does this make sense? For January 10th or whatever that Saturday is, we are going to go, and it's either going to be 6 of us, 11 of us, 20 of us into another office. We're going to sit in the back. We're going to take notes. We're going to be respectful, and we are going to learn how to build a business. 14th? The 14th. So everyone in this room knows January 14th, we're traveling. I have to call Alex and get him to say yes, but I have a feeling he'll say yes. And if not, I'll get someone else to say yes. I'm pretty good at this. And we're not showing up to speak. They're going to ask us to speak. I'm saying, no. Look at our numbers. Your reps are beating us. We are not speaking. We are showing up to know what it feels like to walk out and going, how? We are serious about this. Y'all understand. I want you to understand two things. One, this is not a fun idea for me for two reasons. One, hey, look, I got an ego. And my wife is batshit crazy and has never been through what this is about to happen. I understand what this is going to do to my life. I don't know if any of y'all are going to be affected, but I absolutely know what the car ride home is going to be like for me. And I'll be honest with you, Bob, I'm not real excited about that drive home. I am not doing this for my comfort. I'm doing this for the anti-comfort because I know I'm sick and tired of explaining away. We got 2.5 years to see what we can do. The clock started yesterday. We got 2.5 years, Jimmy, to see if we built a better mousetrap. 2.5 years. 30 months is how I think about it. I told Sue, I said, I'm in for the next 30 months. I'm hardcore in Primerica for the next 30 months. I can commit to 30 months. Hiring and training, recruiting directs, getting after, building teams, having folks. Like I can commit for 30 months. My older boys are at an age where they can watch it, and my younger boys are at an age where we can experience it. I can go bash it for 30 months. And then we'll evaluate. Can you? Can we get you to $5,000 a month of passive income in the next 30 months so that you get to own that flexibility and freedom, and then you get to decide what it is that you want to do? So we can get you to 50, 100, 300,000 in the next 30 months, and then we get to decide, right? Do we want to stay? Do we want to go? Do we want to sell? Do we want to build? What do we want to do? Right? You got ownership at 50,000. You got ownership at 100,000. You got full ownership at 300,000. My business marketing goal is I want to get you guys to $300,000 and then sit down and say, do you want to sell it or do you want to build it more? Because every business should be built to sell. Doesn't mean you got to sell it. But if you could sell your business at 6 times earnings and you get to 300,000, that's $1.8 million. If 4 years from now, you've got a business that's cash flowing $25,000 a month, there are people in Primerica that will buy it for $1.8 million. That is what we're doing. This is not, we're recruiting lifers. Some of you will become lifers. I've been here 20 years. I'm technically a lifer. This is sacrilege in Primerica, except from the two. Look, the shit we're going to talk about here is going to be very fun. I'm already building the talks. Because we're entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs aren't, is this your first business? Is this your only business? Are you building? Are you learning? Right? I was listening to one of Robin's clients, and he sold his business, right? It didn't go, but sold it for 6 figures, 7 figures, this and that, and the other. And Robin's like, look, you've now sold it. It wasn't what he wanted it to be. Didn't get everything out what he wanted. And she's like, yeah, but you now have a 7-figure sale. You're an entrepreneur and a CEO with a 7-figure sale. You are a stronger asset now moving forward. But I wanted, when I talked about it, I thought this was a $50 million business. Yeah, it wasn't. But you went from here to there. Is that a bad thing? Imagine 25 years old, 300,000, say, Mom, Dad, here, why don't you buy my business for $1.8 million? Because I now can take those resources and I can go build my gaming company. Tony might be like, shit, this is the most fun I've ever had. David's like, we walked out of there, he's like, man, I can do this the rest of my life. David's like, I don't want to sell my business. Great. Isn't it nice to be able to have make $500 a month, sell your business, or be a lifer? Go make 20 million? Cindy, doesn't that sound fun that there's a place for all of it? That's what we're doing. But see, we need to walk out of that meeting on January 14th. And you excited and frustrated. Because it's been a long time since I've had you walk out of the meeting frustrated, not at lack, but frustrated because you know there's so much more we could have done. We could have had so many more people. We could have done, and we got to get that sense and feeling. This is the Primerica elixir. So we all got till January 10th, 13th. What are we gonna do? Is it gonna be the 11 of us? Is it gonna be 7 of us? Some of you are like, screw it, this is too intense, I don't even want to be a part of it. Or are we gonna be at 25? I don't know what we're gonna be. But I know I got my list of folks that I'm gonna make sure is there with me. So I know Sue's getting her list going. Sue's walking in going, hell no, I'm not, are you kidding me? I'm talking to Zamora. Zamora's like, hell no. Hell, I'm making Mario come. But I'm like, why not? Why couldn't we walk in with 30? 30's not 100, but 30's not 11. And guess what? We walk into 30. Guess what some of them are going to say? Why are you doing this? Because they won't understand. We're like, oh, we're going to spend the first 6 months as a travel team. I want everybody, and we get a market to them going, man, you're a stud. You got things going. We want our folks to know what it looks like to win. Right? There's different cultures, there's different environments. They don't need to know that we don't feel uncomfortable walking out of a room. They have no need to know that.
Oh, you'll feel uncomfortable for different reasons.
Make sense? Excited? Travel team? Sound fun? We got to come up with cool shirts, though. The Access Travel Team.
Hang that one up.
Yeah, but you only get it if you use it.
So this is, so now look, so very rarely will I, traditionally in business stuff, I will say this is what we're doing. This is what I think we should do. I would like this to be some version of a consensus. You don't have to like this to understand. I'm asking you, you need to understand and buy it. I'm not asking you to like it. Some of you might like it because you're sick. But I'm not asking you to like it. I'm asking you to understand what it is we're doing over the next 30 months. What it'll do to your life. What it'll do to your emotions. What it'll do to your partnership. What it'll do to your vision. What it'll do to your belief. What it'll do to your urgency. Guess what? Some of your people are going to hear some batshit crazy things that you're going to have to unwind. They're going to hear some stuff and they're going to be like, I don't want anything to do with it if that's what you guys do. There will be someone who says some crazy thing that we will be like, emergency meeting at our house tonight. It will happen. And it'll happen to your best guy that you've worked 2 years to get in the room. And the absolute worst thing possible is going to be said. I promise you, it's going to happen and it's going to happen to you. I've already assessed the net cost, and it's going to happen, and you're going to be mad, and you're going to be mad at me, and you're going to be mad at everything, and you're going to think it was the worst decision possible, and you're going to say, see, I knew we shouldn't have done it. And I'm going to say, there's a place for everybody, a role for all of us, and the relationship is paramount, and if the timing isn't right now, we'll develop a relationship, and when it's right for them, we will move forward. Because this isn't a some will, somewhat, so what, someone's waiting. This is, we build a business and we're developing entrepreneurs. Make sense? So, I mean, let's have some fun. Y'all don't understand, we're going to walk into one of the rooms with more people than the people in the room. I don't know which one. We're going to walk in with 65, but by the end of this thing, we're going to walk in May with 80 people. And they're going to be like, what the hell are you doing here? And we're like, well, we showed up early. Is it okay if we take all your seats? And if that happened to me, if I'm the RVP and they're coming to, man, that'd be the best training ever. Because they'd be like, serious, can you and your team talk? We're like, no, we're just travel team right here. We're here to watch you guys learn how to build a business. As their people are standing against the wall because they showed up late. Just like y'all do on your Saturdays. But guess what? If the meeting starts at 9 there, we're not starting at 9. We're starting at 8. Right? You show up to some other field early. You show up fed and focused. You show up with enthusiasm. I got to get back to teaching y'all how to build a business, what it means to walk in and to move the room. How to be the most excited people in the room. Not the most aggressive people in the room, the most enthusiastic, the people that see it. And you don't got to be bouncing off the walls. Maybe you are. But there's like, oh, we got something. And so to reinforce that we got something, I like to tell a little story. So I have purposefully not talked to Dawn for the last couple days. And the reason is Dawn had an amazing growth in her business, and I don't know if she knows it. But I'm going to have David talk about the impact because something very cool has happened in your business that you don't know about because of what it is we're building. So, yesterday, I had the meeting. That came from your sister? Nancy. Came from Nancy, your best friend, right, to be able to go through, went to book the school, went to go through. And I'm like, okay, I want to keep this space away because I want to make sure, right, like, very purposefully as to where this goes because I wanted to be able to create what was going on. It was good. And it was an opportunity to move a lot of very positive experiences as to what's going on and why. And one of the things I do is I don't walk into a meeting by myself, right? It's just kind of one of those things. I'm like, okay, where are we? What's going on? And my friend David has had a hell of a week. And so I'm like, okay, it's cool. Like, okay, where are we? How do we get the most bang for the buck, the most movement, the most opportunity of what's going on and the opportunity to really drive this? And it was very, very fun. So I'm going to have my friend David come talk about his week. And part of his week is going to be talking about what he experienced yesterday, right, to be able to go through. But you will not get it as good from me as you will from David as to what happened on. So help me recognize the awesome David. Come on, go!
So, yeah, I've been having an amazing week, right? So just to give you a little background story, I decided I went to my boss at Best Buy, and I told him, like, hey, can I take the next 2 months off because I really been working my dream in my business? And he said, okay, we got a promotion. Promotion? So you come on to customer. So on the 14th, which is Cyber Monday, I submitted my 2 weeks. Because I'm jumping on belief and I'm jumping on faith to actually get in line with my actual dream and my goal. And like Brett said, I am a life advice. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And this whole week just validated everything in my life. So that said, you guys know a little background on where I am. So Wednesday, I'm here. I get here late. I told Brett I'm going to be here by 12 p.m. Going to be here an 8-hour shift, right? I close the job. I was going to study for hard. I get here home. Me and Brett had an awesome night that night, right? He taught me how to be an entrepreneur. What is it that an entrepreneur has to have in order to be an entrepreneur? Right? It's got to be the right balance, right? And then I think the only people in this room that are real entrepreneurs is Sue, Robin, and Brett. They're the only ones that can actually teach us these habits. They're the only ones that actually show us these habits. And the habit that Brett shared with me was planning and timing, right? Like planning and timing. If I really want to go full-time entrepreneur, learning, training, how am I going to do this, right? And it's planning my schedule, planning my day. And it was a lot of focus. I think we spent like a good hour in planning my next day, right? So I was here Thursday night, and he was like, Wednesday night, I was like, what are you going to do Thursday morning? He was like, because you were here for 6 hours, and you only finished a 25-question quiz. what did you waste? You wasted it for 3 hours. So we sat down, got on the board, and he tells me exactly from 8 to 4, 8 to 9, what are you going to do? 9 to 10, what are you going to do? 10 to 11. And we just broke it down. So I didn't leave the office Wednesday night until I finished my Thursday day. Thursday came around, and it was just, you know, there's things that are going to move around, but in my eyes, it was flawless. Everything was just going as planned. We were moving along, and I had a portion in my slot from 10 to 11 that everybody at work that I told that I was going to go be an entrepreneur and go work on nonprofits and go and talk to high school students and show people how to be financial literate. Like, that's how I left work, right? I left people letting them know that that's what I was going to do. And after my day on Thursday was over, Greg comes up to me and tells me, hey, what are you doing Friday morning? I was like, I'll be here 8:40, you know, like, this is it. This is what I'm doing. And he says, well, be here by 7:45 because we're going to go do something. I'm like, I don't even know what to do. We're just going to go see you to school or something. So I go to the career day, right, in this high school, and we're there. It's my first experience, and then we're just sitting in this classroom, and it's going to be multiple presentations, 30 minutes apiece, and I'm just there, like, soaking it all in, you know, like, wow, like looking at my future, like, this is it, like, I'm in the right place at the right time type of moment, you know. And the whole time we're doing the presentation, Brett just kept knocking it out. And I'm like, snapping, you know what I mean? Because I wanted to show validation to my people at work that I'm actually doing what I said, right? That I'm actually putting in what I said I was going to do, and it was going to give me that I see, I'm not lying, right? Like, in the type of sense. So I'm having that conversation, and the reaction of the teachers, the reaction of the students. I mean, teachers were like, oh my God, nobody ever told me this. Like, I've been a teacher for 40 years. I've been a teacher for 50 years. And the message is so clear that anybody was listening. Even a 14-year-old kid was interacting and talking to Brett and letting him know, like, wait, tell me that again, because people are robbing us. They're robbing us. And Brett would go up to him like, see, you were back 30 minutes ago. And now you are, because now you're. And I mean, it was just an amazing reaction and feedback from all these kids and these teachers, to the point that when they would switch class, or the next group would come in, Brett would ask them, hey, where did you guys come from? And they'd be like, oh, I just came from, you know, I wanted to be a fireman or a pilot or all this stuff. And you can feel that there was chatter around the campus about the financial planning guys in the math class, right? Like, you can tell, you can feel the energy that even random teachers would just come in and sit down. And then you would see them sit down. I was like, all right, we got another one. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt so good that random people were coming into the room, and they were more excited to be in the financial planning than in the fireman or pilot or whatever career they had, or whatever other career, you know, personnel. And then they said, and then you can tell, you can hear that even the principal came in, and they were like, look at the students, like, see, I've been telling you guys this, you know. It's like, it doesn't matter what your career is going to be, you're always going to need public money. And that was the biggest thing, right? And I told Brett, I was like, man, when we left, I felt like I've never had that reaction, because even the kids were like trying to run up to you because they had just gone to lunch and say goodbye to you, and we're like, oh my God, thank you guys, this is the best information I've ever had in my life, and it's always followed me. I want to know about money, and I'm just like, at 16, 17 years, you never got that. So I know we have a great impact, and it really, you know, resonated with me and what I want to do for the rest of my life. And just to make that, just to share that experience with you, I mean, it's been amazing. And, I mean, good job for your business, and thank you for the experience, because it put me more into my business. Oh, and then the principal, we're leaving, right? We're like about to leave, and he's doing the door. He's like, hey, wait up! You know, she yells at Brett. She's like, hey, I think I need help with, like, catching up, because here, give me your card, right? She was like, I need help catching up, because I know I'm not where I'm supposed to be, but I need your help so I can catch up and get some money home. So maybe out of all the teachers, I think every teacher's gonna contact you guys, because I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys already get emails. I mean, like, it was that impactful. It was that impactful that even there was just random teachers and adults that listened to the conversation, and and it was about 5 or 6 kids, but it was the adults, it was the people interacting. I mean, it was crazy, like how knowledgeable, how much education we're getting. When this was just the first one, I could just imagine it more. I can just imagine. Auditorium was just ridiculous, right? So then I leave and I told Brad, I was like, hey, Brad, I'm gonna be throwing some Snapchats out because, you know, this is what I'm doing. I'm trying to social network and I'm trying to put my game up in the social network to a different level. And it's how I don't text people a lot anymore. I just do a Snapchat and they see my story. They see what I did done the whole day. And people are interested in that. People are interested in people's lives and stuff. So I told Brandon, I was like, listen, in my Snapchat story, I get about 80 people that watch my daily story every day. Right? So I said, if I post this, I know I'm going to get something. What is it that you're doing? What's going on? At the end of the night, I had about 7 people just text me, direct message from someone. One of those was my wife. Okay. We've already talked to him. We already had conversation with him. And I went over. I went to pick up my daughter because I was at work. I went to go pick her up from my mother's house. Went to her uncle's. And we're having this conversation. He's like, hey, what is it that you're doing? What was it that I saw on Snapchat? What is that? And I'm like, listen, talking about the wellness programs. We're trying to educate kids, trying to educate adults, trying to just the whole wellness program, right? We all know. And he's like, and he's an ally, went to an advocate. And that night, last night, became an associate, started his hours last night. And he's like, because I want to be a part of that so bad. And I'm ready. He's like, how long do you think I can knock this out? I was like, you and the skills that you have, I was like, you can knock this bad way out in 2 weeks. And you can start a security program on the 26th. And he's like, get out of here. He's like, yes, you can definitely do it. So he started his hours last night. So I'm excited about that, right? And not only that, he's like, because he was a counselor for our Congress school district at our high school. So he's like, so you told me that I can go to the high school district, we can do that to our high school district. I was like, yes, we can. Right? And it's something I told Brett about before I left. He's like, who I can do in my high school do this? And now I got my in with my wife's uncle that's actually in the school district. He's able to have his classes in the district. He understands that. And he wants to be part of it. So I'm so sure that's it. That was my 4 days. Going full time.
So very, very fun. And it was funny. So the school was a special needs school where they deal with like emotional outbursts children. Like this is, and they're like, and they wanted to know like career day, right? And I had no idea what this is. And the principal called and Donna told me, hey, can you do this? I'm like, sure, it'll be a good experience. We'll kind of figure out like, and I was telling David, like, and I have, it's one of those things, I have a special needs kid, so I can say what I'm about to say, right? But like, this was the, I was explaining to him, right? Because he's got somebody working with who's a big DJ in salsa. I'm like, this is like your DJ friend in doing salsa music in Amarillo, Texas, like doing his first karaoke gig. Like he's up there like, this is what this is. Like, and he's like, but I'm like, you gotta start somewhere, right? Like this is when we started, right? Because we're like, not the right market, not the right group, not any of this stuff. And by the time we left, like they're like, and Sue gave me a great presentation, and the presentation didn't work, right? So your presentation worked, but theirs didn't work. So I grabbed a pen and I'm like, and then by the end, I'm like, they got the presentation working. I'm like, I don't need that. Like, let's go have some fun, right? Because I'm like, people, like I'm rally, like I'm full seat, like full, like out of it. Like I am, and they're like, this is ridiculous. And it's funny that everybody says, God, I wish I had learned this. And then like one teacher, I wish I could learn this. And then another one came in and wasn't a part said, I wish I could learn it. And then here comes the principal. I wish someone would showed me this. And I'm like, that's our business. That's how, those are the signs. And part of what you're doing, part of the second half of, oh God, it's hard. Sorry. All right. So.
And before you move on, like this came from Nancy, who you have built a relationship, maintained the relationship, gone back and gone back and gone back. Like this is part of the baseline 30 conversations that Dawn didn't give up on, that was like, I'm not interested, right? And out of this ongoing relationship that Dawn didn't shy away from, that she just created the space for over and over and over again, came this random referral which will absolutely grow your business, grow our business, grow David's business, and have the potential to grow everybody's business in this room who uses that story.
We will be back every year.
We don't know where it comes from.
You're speaking at next year's event. Like, this is the way into the other side, because we're talking about, like, there's so many pieces, right? So all of a sudden we're like, oh my gosh, how did that work? Like, this, guys, and it was a Friday morning at 9 o'clock. Like, it wasn't, like, this is just the beginning of the pieces. And I had no idea. If I would have known what would have happened, I'd have taken 5 of you with. Like, it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, I got, like, where do we go and where's the impact? Like, it was the last second. Okay, I don't walk in that room without anybody type. But I wasn't even playing. I was incredibly ill prepared for the entire experience. Rob was like, "Do you have things to hand out?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Are you gonna hand things out?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Why?" I go, "Because."
When I saw us like handing things out, I'm like, yeah, Brad's prepared.
Well, I let me rephrase it. I have old books of ABCs of making money for teens that I'm like, I'm walking into teens, like different things like that, and I'm like, okay, and it had no subject matter like in anything to do with what we're doing, but it didn't matter because it was about a feeling. That's our edge. The ability to walk in and tell people, look, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, someone's going to ask you if you heard of the Rule 72, and you're going to say one of 3 things. Said this, right? You're going to say no, because you're going to completely miss what I'm about to talk about. You're going to say, yeah, someone told me this, like, in high school once. Or you're going to say, yeah, that was the day that my life changed when it came to my finances. And you get to decide over the next 4 minutes which one it is. Like, y'all understand the power of the Rule 72? The Rule 72 is the most ridiculous thing in the world if you're good at telling the story and understanding the power. It allows us to beat on the crusade of the insurance and the lenders and the banking industry. It allows us to talk about the power of planning. It talks about the power of the future. It talks about the value of money. There's so much in that as a tool to explain why you're doing this. The Rule 72 is the most powerful tool we have. So, I don't want to spend because I didn't realize how fast that went. Okay. I'm going to give 4 minutes. Stay focused with me for 4 minutes. Okay. We haven't done through this piece of paper very much. It's the most important piece of paper you can have. My friend David, and he trusts me, we work really hard and stuff like that. David, can I ask you a question? Did you walk into my office this week, like a couple days ago, and ask me what some of these words actually meant? Okay. David, if you would have been paying attention to this in, say, May when we first started really talking about it, and you actually approached it the way you're approaching it now, do you think you might be in a little bit better position than you are right now to take advantage of things you want to do? Okay. My failure is my ability to get you guys to understand the value and importance of this. I do not know the words to say more than this is the single most important piece of paper you can have. I don't know if there are more important words. I don't know if there are better or cleaner words, or I don't know if you just think I'm full of shit. David Camacho just believed I was full of shit. David, am I full of shit? Okay. So I don't expect you to trust me. I can tell you I'm not full of shit. You're going to be like, I bet you. Maybe you are. Like, you don't have to trust me. David Camacho just left his job. And the reality is, if David would have understood what he understands today 6 months ago and understood this piece of paper, David's life would be a little bit stronger when it comes to business. So I'm going to hand this out one more time. And not the last time, because I will do it several more times because people don't pay attention to it. I don't hear you. But I can. Here. All right. So, do me a favor. Over the next couple days, fill this out to the best of your ability. And when you can't fill it out, take a picture of it and send it to me. Fill out as much as you can. And then take a picture of it and send it to me. The most that you can. Like everything, rock your brain. But don't ask anybody else. Don't ask one of your compadres. Do it to the very best of your ability. And then highlight and circle that which you don't know, shoot a picture of it, because that's how we can start to do the work. We have to figure out what you don't know or value so that we can add some value and I can explain. I'll meet with you, we'll walk through it, we'll explain it, right? This is an important piece of paper too, but this, at least this. You'll be, in the next 2 days, at least this. Do the very best you can. Take a picture. Some of you are like, can I just take a picture of that? Look. The clock has started. And this shit's fun. You're going to win, you're going to make money, you're going to grow, you're going to get promotions, you're going to feel good, and you are going to move people. You are going to learn and develop the skills necessary to drive and affect people. We are going to walk into rooms and we are going to have story after story after story after story of what's going on. And we are going to get cleaner, and we are going to get stronger, and we are going to get better, and we are going to know more things, right? And we're going to not, look, I flew by the seat of my pants. I was not organized, and I did not do it all right. Right? And I tell you in advance, like, I'm going to screw this shit up a ton. And then we're going to like, oh, should have done it this way. All right, click. But this is about using every tool imaginable to move us all faster. To move us all stronger, to move us all better, to move us all. And so if we do that and we work together and we understand what it is we're playing for, we are going to accomplish something significant. And so it starts now. We'll be here Wednesday night for securities training. We'll be here next Saturday. And then we've got Oz night the following. Now, the last thing, do you guys want to do a 2-minute commercial on Monday night? Sure. Why don't you guys come up and do.
So Monday night. So the women in this team have decided that we're going to kick all the men's, and I'm live on camera, I'm going to say it anyway, kick all the men's asses in the next 6 months, just so y'all are prepared for that. And so we're going to be holding some of our own meetings, and that starts Monday night. So we're holding a Women in Business meeting on Monday night. We're going to have speakers each time that we do it. This Monday, we're very excited because we have an expert communications coach who's going to be coming to talk about gender and communication and strategies for effective communication as women. And then also, we're going to do talking money and making your money talk. So helping folks that are already business owners, there's a lot of women business owners out in this area. And if they're not a business owner, they're doing something amazing in their jobs and taking what they already do and applying it to themselves. So we're going to take there's going to be lots of networking, there's going to be some snacks. So if you have anyone on your teams or anyone that you know who is a woman, who is in business, interested in business, please invite them. We start at 6:30 here Monday night. Drop me or Sue a text or an email and let us know. And we're really excited.
I'll put the brochure. You've done it. Why don't you put it on Slack?
Okay, yeah, we'll slide the brochure. Yeah. So like when you should be here that night, anyone, right? Anyone that's in business at all, thinking about being in business, should be here who's a woman. Sorry, y'all are invited. Because like I said,
Unless you identify as a woman, and then that's fine.
unless you're identified. Yeah, because true. Appreciate it, right? True. And y'all should know, we've band together as women. We're taking this very seriously. So we're coming. Any of you doubt that? Ask Brett what happens when we have guys versus girls contest in the past when we put that together. And that's not a challenge for contest or anything. We're just saying. So, and this is about,
We're
right?
gonna just take this and move it
Yeah, and leveraging what your teams are doing, right? Leverage what Sue and I are putting together. So Wendy's got to be there, right? Who on the team, right? Getting Brian Santa there, right? Like getting folks there who are partners, right? Aren't in the business. This isn't about in the business, want to be in the business. This is about women who need to know about money, women who can benefit from communication coaching and from meeting other strong, excited women. Cool. Thank you.
All right, guys, crush it.
6:30 Monday. 6:30 Monday.
And then, so this is.